squatchiest areas are back that way, and I'm going to hit those on my way out. Kind of rare that you find a place in Utah where there aren't initials scratched in somewhere. But this is one such place. I guess it's not that rare when you take in every single tree, but most of the places where there's any type of, you know, human trail within a few miles, about a mile or so, there's always names scratched in, unfortunately. But not right here. Anyway, I'll keep on going. This isn't that particularly squatchy, but it's a nice forest. This seems kind of off over here as far as completely natural. Not that, but this right here. Looks like it was shoved up in that tree at one point, and it's maybe grown into it. We have this right here. I don't know, maybe it's so old that it just grew there like that. Even so, if it did, I don't know, did this grow here originally? I don't think it did. We got a lean over here. That up there. I thought I heard a little noise before I flipped on the camera too. Oh, this one. I guess it could have been anything. So it's up on that knob right there. So it's neatly laid out. I doubt naturally it's just going to back here. I doubt it's just going to somehow grew right there, fell down, and latched itself on that little knob. For that matter, we have another one that's up there pointing down too, but I think that one might be natural. Anyway, I gotta head generally this direction. Going downhill here is not that hard, but the hike up is going to be a killer. I don't think it's quite 2,000 feet in 0.6 miles, but I mean ascent and descent. But it's definitely above 1,000 feet. By the bird flies, it's a half mile. By the route I'm taking, it's probably 0.7 miles. Well, I'm about 2/10 of a mile from the little puddle type pond I was looking for. I found this little watering hole, I guess you could say, right here. A little forest. Probably just snow melt, it looks like there is. A little flow right here, so I guess there's a spring somewhere that's boiling up from. This doesn't look particularly fresh though. There are some things that look like tracks. That one looks quite long right there. No, I don't see any toes. But anyway, I don't think there would be cattle down here. Great. I just fell on my butt. Make that an outtake. Let's see right here. Oops. Anyway, I just added my print to those. So here's what I would call the edge of the squatchy zone with the pine trees. There's a kind of game trail here. A bit of down timber in here. A little hard to see with the shadows, the brights and the light and the darks. But I'll keep generally going this way, and should be a pond or an impression where there's a pond sometimes. And here's a couple of leans. Right there. Lean that broke over there. Not pointing this time, so I don't know if you can really see it. I'm kind of getting a little off track because I should be going a little further that way. This is probably more direct route, but I was going to originally skirt the edge of this area until I got to the pond. There's a very pronounced X right there. There is a little space between the two, but kind of hear some vocalizations. It's hard to tell the wind. There's a tree knock. There's the distance between the two. So there's vocalizations from over there. Check my GPS. It could be a deer vocalizing. I'm not sure. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm right here. You're right there. It says 0.13 miles. Let's see. Yeah, so I generally go that way. I guess I'll leave this running, this video, just in case. This is not the action cam. We've put on that external mic here. Hold on. Now time taking them, they can be long gone by now. I don't know what's over. Squatchy looking area. Looks like there's a wallow down here. I guess it could be deer. At least let's make his tracks of deer come on. See if I can see. I just make so much noise now. Going to go around the edge there instead of coming straight on through here. So I'm already here. Well, it says the memory's full on the action cam. I didn't think that was the case. I'll have to look at that later. It's possible. Until something right here. That's probably a deer, but I guess chances are it's going here to be deer. But deer make wood knocks, so that's how they have antlers, but somehow they managed to do that. Okay, I'm getting pretty close to the pond. It's about 473 feet, probably within 40, correct, within 40 feet. depression or a mud hole or what. Kind of past the Wallow looking area for the most part. I'm kind of on the edge of it. Really good sign on the pine cones there. Probably just squirrels or something, I guess. Checking my GPS. Light green up ahead. Keeps going down and down. I think I see it. It's right over there. Looks like it's mainly just greenery. Nice little going trail. It's kind of warm through here. Taking advantage of the water source. And it's kind of a local clearing. On the map it looked a little more covered with surrounded by trees. I guess it is from this side. I probably should sneak on through this side first. Here, let's go and do that. So the water's over there somewhere buried in the greenery. Really sink around, literally. I can go through here anyway, so I'll just start over here. Straight on. Description of it. Oh, here we go. This is actually the pond. Now this is the one I was looking at. The other one was not it, so this is it. I just stumbled onto it here. Yeah, this is the pond I was looking for. It is surrounded by trees. As you can see the reflection there. Yep, now with my GPS I'm right there. Okay. Yeah, so this looks like what I saw on Google Maps, Google Earth. You have your little X over here. X right there. And you have your tree stabbed into the ground. I forget where that came from. Not really sure if it could have just fallen out. Oh, here we go. Came from up here. I guess there's a break like right up there. So I guess that's natural. It's not standing on its own power, it's leaning against that tree in reverse. So there is probably a natural inverted tree stabbed in the ground. Here's a bundle of trees over there. Still looks quite squatchy vibe from the, as far as traditional squatchiness is concerned. I'd like to switch over to the action camp at this point, but its card's full. I could pull out the card on this one, switch it over. If it does have a mini SD, or I could pull it out if this one takes a full-size SD and put it in, but I want to switch back to this one, and I don't want to, I need to zoom in for some reason. I'm scared to lose the time. Fortunately, in places like this with this one, the view's not nearly as wide, so you don't get a good perspective of what we've got, what I'm at here. Mountain swamp. Weird to have it so wet, swampy looking up in the Rocky Mountains. So green. A lot of water plants there as well. Back down to the water's edge, kind of, or towards that general direction. Sounds like there's a little spring flowing there. Inspecting the rock types. Hopefully I won't get too close to the encounter right now and bend down. Fair amount of turned up ground, but I think it's mainly hooves that have done it. Kind of interesting though how all this is shoved right in that those two trees. You got here, here, here. And these look like strawberries actually. Yeah, that's what they are. See those white flowers? They're strawberries. We got some in our home that came up, even though we didn't even plant them. And I've already harvested those, but up here in the mountains everything's a lot slower. The snow's having receded. That was long ago. Natural, it's all one tree. You can see it connects down there. Kind of looks like a pine tree at the bottom. It's actually an aspen if you keep going up. Well, it's hugging a pine tree. Or no, I guess it's, yeah, it is hugging a pine tree further up there. Anyway. this is obviously the squatchy area, and I tried to avoid the thickest trees. It's actually steeper this way. The way I did was kind of belting around, kind of banking around this area, which I would say is most likely to have Sasquatch around here. It's steep and it's thick, and it's not convenient to get through. There's an X. Probably just go similar to the way I came in. There's some other stuff I want to try to look at if I have time. And it's going to kill me enough to go the route I came in up a hill slope, as opposed to trying to go through here. I was about to auto power off. As I was saying, there's just pine needles underneath. And I guess some ants or something in this case, or termites. So, I'd say it didn't grow there. It's marked by an X too, right at its base. So if you have a bunch of them that just didn't grow here, how did they get here? Did the deer put it here so they'd have a nice blind to block humans from? Or does Sasquatch do it too? In these nice pine needle areas, it's nice, soft, you could bed down. It would attract the deer, but then it'd slow them up to get in and out of the tunnel in some areas. I don't know, I guess they could get out some of these. Here's the well-worn paths, but there's another one. Let's see. It's on a bed of old pine needles that are dying and decomposed. It didn't really grow there, I don't think. That's the case. How did it get there? It's hung up. Just the very tip of it is up in that pine tree up there. Right up there. Just barely touching that pine tree. You can see it. Try to just shake it. I don't want it to come down, but see how precarious it is, but it's snagged up there. Conveniently. Down at the base. Well, the other one snagged it there. Let's look at the sun. And there you have it. And I'm going to start heading down this way. This is roughly where I came from. All the perimeters for these X's again. I don't know, I guess you're supposed to be able to see these things in the daytime. Meaning that they still exist in the daytime, but it almost seems like they don't. I know they're nocturnal, so I guess they're holed up somewhere, but the question is where. Like where these caves and things that they come from. Most of the caves around here on such a cliff, unless you were an expert rappeller, you're not going to be able to get to it. Even then, it's so small. It will house the whole family of Bigfoot, I don't think. Anyway, obviously it's a big forest, and they're big creatures, but they aren't that big. Just thinking here out loud of almost seems like in the daytime creatures don't exist. like they're a non-entity, they're just nowhere. Their signs are around. Some that they pieced out to another dimension. They're very stealthy too, so I'm probably sure though, on the other hand, they detect our presence long before we do, with a few exceptions. There's a stream, creek. It's probably the same thing that's related to that pond over there. I wonder if beavers had anything to do with it, but it was such a depression, it's probably natural that beavers didn't even have. I didn't see that much evidence of the beavers in that one. Let's check the GPS here. So here we have a fairly normal forest. Thick undergrowth in the summer, up to my waist. And we have this. I don't know, is that 100% natural? The brother Berkman down here. I don't know, to me it doesn't look quite natural, the quantity you have right there. Now things are kind of weaved. I guess, I don't know, maybe there's some chance it could be, but I don't know. It just doesn't look quite natural to me. Of course you have X right over here too. You can see that. 2 dead trees. So, I don't know, to me it looks like a sign, just because it doesn't quite fit with the normal forest that surrounds it. It's not a structure, you know, that you can get in or anything, but it's kind of like a fenced blind type thing. I guess you could use it for hunting, maybe. At least break up your silhouette. It's a good 7+ feet tall. And keep going on. Through here it's getting deeper. I think I'm gonna go over this hill. I'm getting a little more on track of where the direction I originally came from. Kind of interesting spot right here. Kind of on this bluff here. Overlook. It drops off on this side. Cliff. Nice huge X with very large trees. I don't know if that's natural. I guess it could be, but anyway, there's kind of random little signs up here on top of this bluff. You got bark just laid on the side of the tree there. Leans, ripped up trees. Another lean here, another lean there. It's not like this most of the way up. It was very thick green brush up to my waist and higher. But on the top here, this little bluff, it's nice and cleared out. A nice mountain view over there. I'll zoom in a little bit for you. There's a nice peak up the top there. The sun's just kind of right on the edge of it. Oh, it just disappeared. That little chipmunk's really disturbed wherever it is. Anyway, I gotta get back over this way. I've kind of gone off the path a little bit. Make my way back over there. Cut this off. spared you all the horrible slopes of things up to my head that I was stumbling through. Get back up here. Kind of went right through the thick of it instead of going around the edge like I did to get up there. Anyway, there's Utah Valley below. I think that's Loafer Mountain in the background. Let me see if I can point it out to you, and then probably anybody really cares, but it's very hard to see my screen here. It's very faint. Anyway, the bigger peak to the left is Loafer. The one to the right is Nebo. Nebo's higher than Timpanogos. It's the highest one in Utah County. We have all this over here. The sun came out. Sorry. There's my vehicle down there. You probably can't see it parked. There's a ATV coming up the route. But anyway, I'll go and cut this for now. Timpanogos is over this way, but it's a very bad view of it. You can't see it. And just right up to the edge of it. It's on the other side of that, kind of. So had a tougher time coming back up. Once you get off the trail, it's got that retracing your steps on GPS. It's kind of tricky tracing it back when you're on a side of a slope. Steep doesn't behave as well. Have to kind of guesstimate. I knew I had to go up because that's where I came from. So in Utah, that's one of the easiest things. You know, if you came from up, you go up. If you came from down, you go down. Just the route up was not as desired. Okay, that's all for now. It's pretty squatchy in here, and then it will get squatchy in here also that way. This is kind of open though right here. Maybe you can see that a little better from inside the vehicle here, at least as far as the sun shining. And that tree is kind of in the way, but anyway. It's a pretty good view. That goes up here. So here's a structure. It's right by somebody's camp, so I'm going to try not to disturb them, but it's a unique design. Notice how we have it up in this dead tree right here. Really deep country. It's small though. So just people down here playing music and try not to disturb them. Oh, they're really loud. You got this big tree that's in between right there. It comes over to this. I don't know, some people think that a hallmark of Sasquatch structures is that they always use a big tree sticking out of it like that. but it's really interesting design right here. You got one here, here, and coming up there, all on this taller stump. You know, some of it looks like it's humans maybe could have done the smaller stuff, but I'm not sure if they had to transport any distance how they would do this. I guess this tree right here could have fallen down on its own, so maybe they could have making use of that way, but anyway. Anyway, that's all for now. I'll go ahead and move on. Sorry for the loud humans. At least I think they're humans. Just kidding. I see their truck there. I haven't paid attention to look to see. Sure sounds like they're gathering wood loudly. I think I see a shirt there, so I'll just assume it's humans that are speaking English. Okay. Reasonably squatchy area right here. Thought I'd stop for a moment. So we get up here. Wood knock over there. Well, it's human or otherwise. It's a Saturday, so there's plenty of people out and about trying to camp in the area. Anyway, mixture of pine trees and aspens. And it goes up to kind of a hilltop there. But I'm gonna go ahead and stop. And it's past 8:30. Even though we're still light out. I'm gonna head on home.